request you to join me.
Sorry about that. Please go ahead.
I would like to request you to join me in taking refuge in the Almighty from the evil of the accursed devil. Let us all commence in the name of the most beneficent, the most merciful. Friends, I would like to wish you all with my Islamic greeting, may peace, blessing, and mercy of Almighty be upon all of you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Well, I would also like to wish you with my Myanmar traditional greeting, Mingalaba, which means may there be auspiciousness upon all of you. Well, I'm from Burma. You know where Burma is. You are very kind enough to help our Burmese refugees and other migrants here, and we are very, very grateful for that. So as a profession, I am still an educator. I'm a counselor at the diplomatic school, which caters the educational needs of the diplomats and other children, of course, mostly focus on the children of the diplomats. My background as a religious activist is that I am the chief convener of the Islamic Center of Myanmar. And then I am also a co-founder and core member of Religion for Peace, which the international headquarters is located in New York. And I'm also deeply involved in other interfaith activities, and I'm a very humble student of religious studies. And I'm also a commissioner at the Rakhine Advisory Commission, headed by late Kofi Annan, which was formed by the democratically elected Myanmar government, which was forcefully ousted by the military tyrants. So this is in a nutshell. If you'd like to know more about that, I'll be more than happy to explain.
Can you tell us, some months ago, Nalin was with us and he told us what was actually happening in Myanmar. So can you tell us what's happening there today?
Okay. In order to do that, allow me to go back to history so that you will have a more comprehensive view of what is actually happening in Myanmar. And Myanmar is a pluralistic society where no religion originates, but you will find all the religions in the great religion all over the world flourishing in Myanmar, especially Theravada Buddhism, which was, re-established in 11th century with the first Myanmar dynasty, Bagan dynasty. At that time, Muslims were also living there as the citizens. And then you will find Christians, and of course, the Hindus were the first to come. Before the advent of this Hinduism, it was spirit worship, animism, that is prevalent in Myanmar. So under the Burmese monarchy, we have harmony. Of course, we do fight as human beings, but never in the name of religion or race. Then we were colonized by the British for hundreds of years. And during the struggle for independence, the spirit of nationalism was whipped up, and we won our independence in 1948. And we have a short-lived parliament democracy. And then in 1958, the elected government handed over the power to the military because they foresaw a coup, imminent coup. Since then, the military tasted the blood. And after the election in 1960, where the democratic forces won a landslide victory, there was a coup in 1962. Since then on, the country was ruled by the military tyrants in different forms and manifestation, up till the so-called democratically, elected government of Aung San Suu Kyi emerged in 2015. But according to that constitution of 2008, which is drawn up by the military tyrants, making sure that they stay in power forever, because there is 25% allotted for the military representative in both the parliaments. And the three major ministry were under the chief of staff. So it was more or less a quasi-democracy, but Aung San Suu Kyi take it with a bit of salt, and then she entered the election, she won, In 2020 also, there was another election which the democratic forces won with landslide. That disturbed the military tyrants because they and their parties that were backed up by them lost miserably. They were hoping to have a coalition government where they can have some say, but that didn't happen. So they started to allege that there was some election frauds, and they alleged that Aung San Suu Kyi and his colleagues rigged the election. So she is charged with so many criminal charges. I think if they all were put together, she'll be in jail for life. So what happened was after the coup in February 1st, we have uh, turned into the anniversary of this coup. So sadly, the country is a failed state now, economically speaking, diplomatically speaking, and politically speaking. So they were what you call these peaceful protests, especially by the young generation, rather known as the Z generation, who were very ardent, and they are very serious regarding uh, the getting rid of the military in Myanmar politics. So what happened was that, unlike the other coup, the militarists, what they said was that they were just handing over the power. It was just a reshuffling of the cabinet, and it was not a coup that they used to do. They said they have done it according to the constitution. So they arrested the president, the state councillor, and a lot of minister, and they said they are still the same government, but the international community did not accept it. Even the ASEAN countries, now they realized it, they try to settle the matter. You must have known about the five consensus reached by the ASEAN leaders, but the senior general of our country, he did not honor those promises that he have given. So what is happening at the moment is even the ASEANs, their bosom friends, no? One of them happened to be the Cambodian prime minister who visited the Myanmar after the leadership of ASEAN was handed over from Brunei to Cambodia. He tried to put some sense in those generals' head, but it didn't work. So what happened was that they were not even invited for ASEAN summit meetings, for ASEAN foreign minister meeting. So they are at the, what shall I say, politically speaking, diplomatic speaking, they've become the pariahs. So what they did during this anniversary time was they choose a date, 12th February, which was a Union Day, where there was when the Myanmar was born, General U Aung San tried to forge unity among the national ethnic races and sign a Panlong Conference, which is to form a unified union. So in celebrating that, he take it as an opportunity to have a parade, and he invited a lot of people, but very few turn up. And then he make a general amnesty, calling all the armed ethnic forces to attend a peace meeting with no string attached and no preconditions attached, but very few attended. So that is the latest condition. And as far as the United Nations is concerned, the ambassador that has represented the previous government is still represented in the UN. So the international community seem to be doing whatever they can. But however, inside the country, there's absolute chaos and catastrophe. And as a religious personalities, we want dialogue and we want peaceful negotiation. But having said that, people are so bitter with the experience that they've gone through, especially the younger generation. They cannot stand that word peace even. So we are at a dilemma, the peace-loving religious personality who are trying to find a way out. So what happened was, friends, you must have noticed our cardinal from the Catholic Church, Cardinal Charles Bo, during the Christmas, he invited, I don't know who invited who, Both of them were seen in the same place, the senior general and the cardinal, and they were cutting the cake. There was a lot of backlash, and he was condemned for that. Even his followers started to criticize him very, very harshly. You can see the comments on the internet. I was very sad because he was one of the patrons of our Myanmar Religion for Peace. And lately, for this Union Day parade, as I've mentioned just now, the military, the force, they used to do that. They twist the arm and they try to, what you call, hijack the religious leader, and they force them to make some requests to their followers to attend that peace meeting. So the Hindus, they make an announcement, and Myanmar Christian Council of Churches, they also make a request. That also backlash. So yesterday, MCC, Myanmar Council of Churches, had to issue another statement apologizing to its fellow Christians that they had made a mistake by supporting this military thing. So this is a nutshell at what is happening. So if you could answer more questions, I'll be able to explain whatever I know. Thank you.
We have heard in the news about demonstrations in the streets of the cities and of people being killed. Is that still happening?
Yes, it is still happening. The irony is that there are some youths who are still protesting on the street peacefully. There are some who has bear arms and went underground, and they went training at the ethnic arms forces. They were getting training from them, and there were fighting going on all over the country. So it was the young people who are leading it. And as a school teacher, I find it very hard to pacify these young people when they are hot-headed. They are not sober at all, because they did had a very bitter experience. So you mentioned about this peaceful protest. They were crushed brutally. They were shot in the head. You won't believe it. They even announced that on the state media that those who dare come out on the street will be shot in the head. The international community don't seem to know these details happening. And what is happening also is in the rural area, they burned the villages. When they did that to the Rohingyas, during this 2017-16 atrocities, people don't believe so much. They even said that the Rohingyas, they burned their own houses, because I know that because I was a commissioner at the Rakhine Advisory Commission. Even some of my commissioner, Myanmar commissioner, they buy that notion. But now they saw it, they are still seeing it, villages burned down, people burnt alive. Friends, I'm so sorry to say that it is still happening. Another thing is the armed forces, they are, due to the guerrilla warfare of these defense forces, they are not using the ground troops anymore. They're using the air force now. They are bombarding. They have gunships which are shelling the villages, burning the villages. They are using the naval forces. There's a lot of atrocity going on, sir. We need a lot of your help.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so sorry to hear it is so violent.
It is more than I can describe. That's whatever I can say within the limit of the human words.
U Aye, what would be some of the best ways that we might be able to increase awareness of these states of affairs where we are?
Well, what you have done today is the best thing to keep up the advocacy and awareness of the suffering of and plight of our Myanmar people. And the next thing, of course, as believers in religion, it is prayer, which is very powerful. Another thing is, whatever we can, we should try not to recognize this military regime. We call this an attempted coup because the coup was not successful. They cannot rule even in major cities like Yangon and in Mandalay, because there were protests going on, there were killing, and there was chaos on the street. So what I would like to request is whatever you can, whatever means you can use, please try to make our American government understand that legality should not be shown to them in any way, and that we should recognize the national unity government, which is formed by the legally elected, freshly elected in 2020 election. And there are a lot of foreign observers who had make a remark that there are some flaws technically, but nothing that will change the result of the election. So they are legally elected members, and they have formed a unity government with varieties of nationalities. For example, the vice president happened to be vice president, and the temporary president happened to be a Kachin. The prime minister is a Karen, and there are a lot of other nationally balancedly what you call involved in this cabinet. So please use your whatever means you can to recognize this people representative and not to recognize the illegal military tyrants that are ruling the country at the moment.
What can you tell us about Religions for Peace?
Religion for Peace, that is, we have to be under low profile, because during the last government era, we tried to hold 3 forums where all the stakeholders were involved. For example, the elected government, the civilian, the military were there, ethnic armed forces were there, other religious, other political parties were there, and there were CSO, making a space for people to find a way out for this civil war that was born with our independence. We have 3 forums, and the latest one, Aung San Suu Kyi and Senior General attended. We tried our best, but with this coup, everything has gone down the drain. And another thing, so it is a good point that you have raised this question. We are gaining some confidence and trust from the people as well as from all the stakeholders. But when Cardinal tried to pacify the military talents, but by accepting them and hosting them, that backfired. So Religion for Peace have to keep a very low profile. On top of this, one of 2 of our major what you call partners, for example, representing the Hindus, they also invited him for Deepawali, and that also backfired, even among the Hindu followers. And then lately, it was MCC which has made the blunder. MCC is a major partner of the core group in our Religion for Peace. So we are trying to salvage her, and we are having some meeting how best. The right step in the direction is that yesterday MCC announced that they would like to apologize for this, but they didn't openly say that the arm were twisted. It was done by a few who were what you call blackmailed by those tyrants. You know their methods, they are fascists.
Anyone have further questions?
Has the Presbytery USA issued any kind of support statements for Myanmar's folks?
They are very helpful. I'm not sure they have any written statement made, because we are very helpful, very supportive, especially to our this Sufi community in Utica, where we have the mosque, which was formerly the Presbyterian Church. So we have a lot of support from our Presbyterian brothers and sisters. I think this is a great help, and I believe that something should be done more so that the other fellow Americans, not only the Americans, the international community with your noble and great religious organization has influence, will better learn what is happening in Burma.
Found an article dated February 3rd on the Presbyterian Mission Agency site. I put the link in the text box.
See it. Thank you.
Well, I thank you for being with us today. And
My pleasure. It's my pleasure. We need
very
your
good.
prayers, first of all, because this is the prayer is the best thing that we have ever had, and we believe in prayer. We are worshiping the same God, so we do believe that it will help. And another thing is, please do help our people. What you can do at the moment is our refugees living in Utica and other part of America. They need a lot of assistance. So you are doing a lot, I know, but there are things that you can do more. So please assist them, please help them. And we will be holding some more activities and events. And I would like to invite you. My son will be extending the invitation because he has the offer from our Jewish brothers who would like to have a sort of a meeting or a prayer meeting for people of Myanmar. So I would like to respectfully request you to join in such kind of endeavors.
Thank you. Is that the 26th? Is that?
Yeah, I'm not sure about the date. He's still working on it, I think, but I think he has already tentatively informed the date.
Okay. Nayland mentioned that in his email this morning.
Right, okay.
So I will be sure to get the information out to the group.
Okay.
So
another thing, Larry, because we are not native English speakers, so he has written out a statement which some of the friends said it sounds like we are supporting the armed struggle. So it won't be very good for the religious. So if you could rehash the phrases or edit so that everybody will feel comfortable, not looking at saying that this is armed struggle is our last resort. But what is happening is still happening. And when we talk about peace, we become enemy of them. So we don't know what to do. We are at dilemma. There's the children, the students who are foremost in this struggle. So as a school teacher, I know it's very hard to try to pacify them. So if you could kindly re-edit the statement, which will be acceptable to the religious people, I will be very grateful.
certainly, certainly. Why would you like to offer a prayer as we close?
Oh, yes. In the name of the Lord, the Almighty, the All-Beneficent, I would like to beseech your help so that the entire humanity will have peace and justice as it is badly needed in our country. So America, which is a land of democracy where all religion flourishes, may the prayer of all the religious followers reach you and may you answer it. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you, UI.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thanks, everyone.
letting me participate in this very noble gathering. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, bye now.
Bye-bye.